Hello everybody, how are you today? Welcome to our Cambridge, TOEFL and Ielts certification classes. My name is Rodrigo and I'm officially a Cambridge examiner for the speaking part of the test. And just before we start our class, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click on the link below and make sure you watch all of our grammar and vocabulary tips next classes, alright? So, the topic of the day is paramount, crucial, imperial when you're writing, okay? It's probably one of the most important topics for Cambridge and IELTS certification classes, which is how to write a brilliant report, okay? You're also going to learn the difference between writing reports, proposals, emails, reviews, etc., alright? So, basically, the first part of the lesson, I'm going to teach you the 10 steps to write a good report, and then I'm going to teach you some words to describe data, so how to interpret graphs, alright? It could be a pizza graph, it could be like a bar chart, so everything you need to know to write a great report is going to be clarified in this class, alright? So, let's start, shall we? So, the 10 steps are precision, accuracy of facts, relevancy, reader orientation, simple language, conciseness, grammatical accuracy, unbiased recommendation, clarity, and attractive presentation. So, let me explain each of them for you, alright? Basically, when we talk of precision, in a good report, the report writer has to be very clear about the exact and definite purpose of writing the report. In other words, like his investigation, analysis, recommendations are often directed by the central purpose, alright? And the precision of report provides immunity to the report and it makes it a valuable document for best usage. So basically, when you're writing a report, you have to be very precise. In reports, we usually read graphs and data, so we cannot guess things. We have to be precise. What does it say in the data? That's exactly what we are going to put in our report. So precision is fundamental, alright? Let's see topic number 2, the accuracy of facts. So basically, information contained in a report must be based on accurate facts. Since decisions are taken on the basis of report information, any inaccurate information or statistics will lead to wrong decision. It will hamper to achieve the organizational goal. So basically, if you write something inaccurate, the decisions your boss would take in a company would be wrong. Just imagine if what you put in your report is not precise, is inaccurate, is wrong. So all the decisions the board will make, the directors of the company, they would be inaccurate, they would be imprecise, they wouldn't be right because they base their decision on what you've written. So you have to be accurate, okay? Number 3, relevancy. The facts presented in a report should not be only accurate, but also be relevant. Because sometimes people put irrelevant facts and make the report confusing, likely to be misleading, you know. You don't want to do that. You want to make like a proper decision when you read a report. So you have to make sure that everything on that piece of paper is relevant when you're making a decision, alright? Sometimes there is some dates, sometimes there is some names, sometimes there is, I don't know, there are pieces of information that are irrelevant and they could easily be left out of a report. But students, you know, they put that in a report and the examiner has to read twice, you know, in order to try and understand what this guy is trying to say. So please, only use relevant facts in your report, okay? Number 4, reader orientation. you always have to take into account who is reading your report, please. So basically, while you're drafting any report, it's necessary to bear in mind about the person who is going to read it. Like, that's why a good report is always reader-oriented. Like, if my boss hasn't had the opportunity to go to a proper college, he's a very simple-minded person, okay, or a narrow-minded person. The way I'm going to write a report is going to be completely different from another boss who is studied in Oxford University. You understand why? Because the language they use is different, the vocabulary they use is different. So we have to make sure that we know who's going to read our report. If that's universal, if that's going to be given and handed out to the whole company, or if that report is only for one person. In our case here, we're learning to write reports for TOEFL and IELTS certification. So obviously, the correctors, the examiners, they are fantastic. They're outstanding. They have a great range, a wide range of vocabulary. So in this case, they expect you to use the right phrasal verbs, the right collocations, the expressions must be spot on, so there's no room for mistake here, alright? Although I gotta tell you, in number 5, you gotta use and keep it simple. So simple language is essential. Because this is just another essential feature of a good report. A good report is written in a simple language, avoiding vague and unclear words. Sometimes students really try to show off by using words that only very few people are capable of understanding. What's the problem with that? Because I've just told you that the examiners are amazing, they're brilliant. However, sometimes we learn a new word, but we don't know how to apply in a sentence, how to apply them with the right collocation. So sometimes we use the wrong collocations with difficult words. So if you're not sure, if you're unsure of how to use a word, please leave them out. Okay? Make sure it's simple, it's clear, it's relevant, it's accurate. Just make sure you're gonna get the highest grade possible, alright? Like, the message of a good report should be self-explanatory. So you shouldn't need to use very hard words to make sure you give the aim because it's what you want to say. Like, your report itself should be able to do that. That's what I mean, okay? Number 6, conciseness. So, again, a good report is never very, very long. Like, a great report should be concise. Rather, it means that a good report or business report is one that transmits maximum information using the minimum words possible. But that doesn't mean that it can never be long. Let me see if I can make myself clear. Like, reports sometimes can be long, but only because there are too many topics to talk about. For example, if you're writing a report which involves sales, costs, quality, marketing, I don't know, maybe some factory problems, obviously that report is going to be long. But the ability to be concise basically means to write with the less number of words possible everything you need to say. That's the meaning of being concise, So it avoids unnecessary detail and it includes everything which are significant and necessary to present proper information. Because the board, when they read your report, they want to read it once. If they had to read your report twice, something's wrong. Alright? I've always told my students that if the board has to read your report twice, something's wrong. They have to read it one time only, be very clear, objective, concise, all the information they require is there, and that's it. End of story. Okay, that's your goal, right? Obviously, in order to do that, you need the grammatical accuracy. So, a great report is free of errors. Any faulty constructions of a sentence may make its meaning different to the reader's mind, and sometimes it may become confusing or ambiguous. So, a lot of people are really lazy when they're studying grammar. So again, I beg you guys, please, when you are preparing yourself for writing, for Cambridge CAE, the CPE test, you cannot be lazy. You have to learn collocations, you have to learn the vocabulary, you have to learn your phrasal verbs, but that's never enough. You need to learn your grammar topics, alright? You need to know what causatives are, how to apply them in a sentence. You need to know embedding. What's embedding? How can I fit in a sentence? You need to know fronting. If you don't know fronting, then you don't know adverbial collocations. You don't know where can you place an adverb in a sentence, you know? So you need to know fronting. You need to know subordinate clause. If you don't know your subordinate clauses, you know, if you don't know the different types of clauses, if you don't know metaphor, then obviously your grammar is not going to be accurate enough and you're going to compromise your report. So the grammatical accuracy means that your report should be free of errors. And the only way to achieve that, you have to study. You have to practice your grammar. So please, put some effort in it. So don't be lazy. Just study. Number 8, unbiased recommendation. Obviously, the recommendation report usually makes an effect on the reader's mind, and it usually comes in the end, like in the last paragraph. So, if everything you said in the report was very clear and objective, so 99% of readers will come to the same conclusion. What I mean by that is that because of that, you should be unbiased, because everybody will reach the same conclusion. If every person who reads your report comes to a different conclusion, it means something's wrong. Perhaps you've been biased. Perhaps you've put a bit of your opinion there. And we don't want your opinion. We want to see the facts. We want all the numbers, all the figures to be precise, to be accurate, to be clear, alright? That's why we come to number 9, clarity. And clarity depends on proper arrangement of facts. A good report is absolutely clear, so you need to know your conjunctions, you need to know how to link your ideas. And a reporter should make his purpose clear, define his sources, state his findings, and finally make necessary recommendations in the end, you know? And in order to be an effective communication through a report must be clear to understand, like for making communication success. And again, if you don't know your discourse markers, if you don't know the difference between moreover, furthermore, on the contrary, conversely, by the way, you cannot write a report. Because you must know discourse markers, you must know your conjunctions. Clarity is absolutely essential, alright? And last but not least, the attractive presentation. Your report must look great. When I read a piece of paper, if I'm the boss, if I'm the board, part of the board, I'm a director of a company, I want to make sure the report looks beautiful. It has to be gorgeous, it has to be clear, you know? So the presentation is also a factor which should be considered for a good report. And a good report always provides a catchy and smart look and creates attention to the reader. So all the structure, all the content, the language, typing, presentation style, the colors of a good report should be attractive to make a clear impression in whoever is reading it. So that's the same rule for our Cambridge our Cambridge examiner. He wants it to look great, so if you have bad handwriting, you're going to make his life really difficult. So please, write it beautifully. Make sure everybody can understand what you're trying to say, alright? Don't make this big mistake of writing in a very lazy way, so we do not understand your handwriting. So please, just write it beautifully. Just have some practice before, alright? And now, before we finish our class of the day, you have to learn how to describe data. And in order to do that, you need to memorize some keywords. So you need to know offhand the movements of sales, like when the sales go up, when they go down, or a movement of costs, alright? So you can say sharply increase, sharply, it's a lot. Marketing decrease, it's also a lot. Plummeted, it's much more. Plummeted, like it's a big fall. Plunged, it's a synonym of plummeted. skyrocketed. Woo, you went up very quickly, you know, like a sky, you know, this sky and a rocket. If the rocket's going to sky, it means it's very fast, very quick, alright? If you hit the peak, you reach the maximum. If you hit rock bottom, or the rock bottom, you hit the lowest point, you know? If it's fluctuating, it's happening like that, going up and down. It slightly increases, slightly decreases, just a little bit. Stagnated, it means a few months in a row being the same. It's stagnated, it doesn't change, you know? If it has decreased significantly, so again, significantly, it's a big change. A noticeable increase, everybody notices it. And the obvious change, it's obvious, so everybody notices it. It's the same. So please memorize your keywords for describing data in a report. So, I think we've come to the end of this reporting writing class techniques. I really hope I've helped you guys. I hope you, as my student, that you make sure that you're ready much before the real test. You have to practice because usually for the Ielts test you only have 20 minutes to write your report in English language. And for the Cambridge test you have half an hour. That's not much. Come on, so you have 20 minutes, half an hour, so the shape of report must be perfect. So you need to know what you're doing, you need to know your words, your structure, your vocabulary, your grammar. Make sure you're ready and prepared, alright? So thank you so much for watching this class. Thank you for having me all this time, and please do not hesitate to ask me any questions. And I'm going to answer to them at my earliest convenience, I promise, alright? So thank you so much, have a great night. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.